What if the secret to real transformation isn't a giant leap, but a 5% nudge? The 5% rule is simple. Do just a little more than you usually would. This tiny increase works with your brain, not against it, sidestepping fear and resistance. Like compounding interest, small daily improvements add up to massive change over time. Reading one more page, walking 2 extra minutes, or making one more call may seem trivial, but repeated daily, they're powerful. The 5% rule is a system, not just a goal. It's about building habits, not chasing perfection. You're not hoping for change. You're becoming the person who achieves it, one small step at a time. This is how true, lasting transformation begins. Have you ever set a huge, ambitious goal for yourself, only to find that after a burst of motivation, you quickly burn out and slip right back into your old routines? Maybe you've wondered why it's so hard to stick with big changes, even when you really want to improve. The truth is, it's not a personal failing. It's actually your brain's natural wiring at work. Our minds are designed to crave stability and predictability. When we try to make sudden, sweeping changes, our brains interpret this as a threat, which triggers stress, anxiety, and mental fatigue. That's why overhauling your life overnight feels so overwhelming and rarely lasts. Imagine your habits as well-worn trails in a dense forest. Trying to make a radical change is like hacking your way through thick, tangled undergrowth. It's exhausting, slow, and easy to give up. That's where the 5% rule comes in. Instead of forcing yourself to leap into the unknown, you take a tiny, manageable step off your usual path, so small that your brain barely notices the change and doesn't sound the alarm. This gentle, incremental shift helps you avoid triggering your brain's resistance. Change starts to feel easy, natural, and even enjoyable, rather than stressful or intimidating. You're not fighting against your biology anymore. You're working with it, making progress in a way that feels sustainable and kind to yourself. Instead of relying on sheer willpower, you're setting yourself up for inevitable progress, step by step, day by day. The real secret isn't to push yourself harder or expect instant transformation. It's to start smaller than you think you need to, so small it almost feels effortless. That's how you gently bypass your brain's resistance, build momentum, and finally move forward toward lasting change. Applying the 5% rule is surprisingly simple, yet incredibly powerful. All you need to do is pick a habit you want to improve, figure out your current baseline, and then nudge it forward by just a tiny bit. That's right, just increase it by 5%. It might sound almost too easy, but that's the beauty of it. You're not aiming for a huge leap, just a gentle push forward. For example, if you want to read more but don't read it all right now, start with just 2 pages. It's a small, manageable start that feels almost effortless. If you already read 10 pages a day, simply add half a page. The increase is so slight you'll barely notice the extra effort, but it adds up over time. The same goes for fitness. If you walk for 10 minutes, just add 30 seconds. It's a tiny change, but it's a step forward. These changes are so easy, you'll find it hard to say no. There's no pressure, no overwhelm, just a gentle nudge in the right direction. Every tiny win you collect builds your confidence, shapes your identity, and creates momentum. Over time, these small victories make your new habits stick. If you struggle with social anxiety, don't force yourself into big conversations. If you usually talk to no one, just try making eye contact or saying hello to a single person. That's enough to start. Each small step gently stretches your comfort zone, helping you grow without feeling overwhelmed or anxious. Remember, the real magic isn't in how big your actions are, but in how consistently you take them. Consistency is what transforms small steps into lasting change. Promise yourself to be just a little bit better today than you were yesterday. That's all it takes to keep moving forward. This is how mountains are moved. One small, steady, and intentional step at a time. Keep going, and greatness will follow. The 5% rule works because it rewires your brain through neuroplasticity. Each tiny improvement strengthens new neural pathways, making the habit easier over time. Your reticular activating system starts noticing opportunities to reinforce your new habit. Every small win triggers a dopamine reward, making you want to repeat the behavior. Unlike big goals that delay gratification, this approach rewards you daily, fueling a positive feedback loop. After a few weeks, your new habit becomes automatic, no more willpower battles. Your brain shifts from resisting change to supporting it. The 5% rule makes your best behaviors the path of least resistance. Real people have transformed their lives with the 5% rule. Sarah, overwhelmed by clutter, started with 5 minutes of tidying a day. In a month, her kitchen was organized. Mark, who hated exercise, began with 5 push-ups each morning. A year later, he had a full workout routine. Emily, an aspiring writer, committed to 50 words a day. In a year, she'd written over 18,000 words. None relied on bursts of motivation. They built progress brick by brick. Their secret? Consistency, not intensity. Change didn't happen overnight, but through relentless tiny efforts. The 5% rule turned daunting goals into daily wins. You don't need a massive leap, just a willingness to take the next small step. That's how big dreams become reality. Ready to try the 5% rule? This is your invitation to make a real lasting change, one that doesn't require a complete overhaul of your life, but instead starts with a single manageable step. Here's how to start, right now, wherever you are, with whatever you have. You don't need fancy tools or a perfect plan. All you need is the willingness to begin. First, pick one specific habit you want to improve. It could be something as simple as drinking more water, reading a few pages, or taking a short walk. Don't try to change everything at once. Focusing on one thing at a time helps you avoid overwhelm and sets you up for real success. Second, find your true baseline, what you actually do, not what you wish you did. Be honest with yourself, and start from where you really are. Third, add just 5%. This means making a tiny, almost effortless improvement, one that feels so small you can't help but succeed. If you walk 20 minutes, add 1 minute, that's it, just a little more than yesterday. If you write 100 words, write 5 more. Small steps add up over time, and consistency is what matters most. If your baseline is 0, start with a symbolic action. 1 minute, 1 page, 1 push-up. The important thing is to begin, no matter how small. Make it so easy you can't fail. Fourth, track your progress. Recording your effort helps you see how far you've come. A simple checkmark or note is enough. It's a visual reminder of your commitment and growth. Fifth, celebrate each small win. Every step forward deserves recognition, no matter how minor it may seem. Acknowledge your effort. It reinforces the habit and builds your confidence to keep going. Progress is about showing up, not perfection. Consistency, not intensity, is what leads to transformation. Your journey starts with one tiny step. Every big change begins with a single action. Pick your habit, take action, and let the 5% rule do the rest. Transformation begins today, one small step at a time.